Gilbert, who was on the national rowing team. She, after I graduated from the novice sweep rowing class, she said, well, you should go and participate in Bayada. And I was like, no, I'm just, after like your first, little scrimmage on the water, things aren't pretty on the water. And so at the time I wasn't really feeling that great. I knew I wanted to continue rowing, but I didn't necessarily see myself at the time being competitive, or even at the recreational, level. And so I was like, nah. But at some level I was like, well, why not? Why not give it a try? Even if it comes with embarrassment, why not give it a try? And so she got me in touch with Karen Lewis, and Karen got me in touch with Robert Black.For, and you got me in touch with Louisville, and it just kind of, the network kept going to, get connected with, the crew, and to kind of make that first step to coming here to Bayada.
3 weeks ago, you didn't know how to scull.
Nope.
And you were
only sweep. And
you won in a sculling race today, 3 weeks later, right?
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Just to not even think that I could come and be, competitive. I mean, I've only been rowing, sweep since, April, the middle part of April, and then
of this year.
Yeah, of this year, and then to just go sculling for a weekend, 3 weeks ago, and that's pretty wild, But
when you went home, you didn't have any way to scull.
No,
so you
not
really couldn't practice other than erg and things like that.
Right, and that's what I did. I mean, I tried to, after seeing the Louisville group and kind of what their expectations were, that everybody does, 2,500 meters, either before or after the practice, then I tried to shoot for that standard, for myself. So, I tried to go, I think I got in three erg sessions where I hit, 2,500 meters, and then the first week that I was home, and then the second week that I was home, I got in about 3,100, 3,200 meters, just erging and really trying to keep, what Bob was telling me to do,
So when you think back about the time you went to Louisville, what were your expectations when you got there versus when you finished working with the coaches there?
I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I mean, I knew I had gotten in a sculling boat just for maybe 10 minutes, for an adaptive event, but there was no instruction. There was no do this or do that. And so coming to Louisville, I didn't know what I was getting into. And because in sweep, you're one of many, you don't really get that individual attention. But, at Louisville, I got some really great individual one-on-one, and, the coach in your ear telling you to do this or do that or change this up or lighten your grip, And that guides you along in becoming even better, not only sculler, but a better, sweep boat. What happened back to my club and get back into a sweep boat. But I think I'm going to try sculling more often. So. Now,
did you tell the members of your sweep boat that you were coming here?
I told the novice coach that I was coming, and right after the race, I called the PM coach that, hey, I won. Came in second for, a race. And so, yeah, it feels good to be able to come back and tell them, hey, I did it,
Now, you called somebody else after your race. Who was that?
Oh yeah, the first person I called was my parents. You know, just because they grew up, you know, in a different time frame. You know, where options were really limited. You know, for blacks in the South. And sometimes, unfortunately, I think that they limit themselves, or maybe limit what other people can do. Not necessarily in a mean or malicious way, but it's just based on their history of what the time and the atmosphere was like for them as young black folks growing up in the 60s and the 70s. You know, it was different. It was different for them. And so, you know, I wanted to let my parents know that, hey, I did this. I, you know, came out here on my own, joined up with a team, got a good coach, and won a race.
And what did your parents say?
They were really proud. That's where I could really hear, you know, in their voice, you know, that they were really proud. My dad, you know, it kind of means a lot to hear, you know, my dad say that, you know, that they're proud of him.
Well, hold your medal up a little higher so we can... Oh, that's your medal. No, that was just a second. Hold it up some more.
Yeah, just kind of sitting here and looking at all of this and, you know, saying, hey, I'm a part of a, you know, new community, you know, now. And for myself, you know, I grew up in a neighborhood, you know, where there, you know, the Bloods and the Crips and the, you know, and all the gangs in the neighborhood, and you could hear, you know, gunshots, you know, around the corner. And my parents, they didn't have the opportunities, either financially or just whatever it was that limited them. They didn't get a chance to go explore maybe their own personal interests as much as they probably would have wanted to. And for me, to be self-sufficient and having my own independence, of being a young woman with a good job, and to be able to come out and say, hey, I'd like to try this, that's pretty cool stuff that, you know, I can do whatever I want to do, you know, within reason, but to have the opportunity to do it is cool.
Yeah. So you ready for another race?
I gotta take a nap first.
You're gonna take a nap and then have another race?
Yeah, nap first, then race.